People sometimes say, journalists shouldn't be biased. No, journalists should have a bias towards democracy. We should be proudly pro-democracy and proud to call ourselves Democrats, small d Democrats. This week, the House will vote on a bill more important than even the COVID relief bill, more important than bills on climate change or gun control, because it is the bill that guarantees everything else, free and fair elections. It's called H.R. 1, or the For the People Act. And it would expand access to voting, limit the role of money in politics, and bring in independent commissions to draw up congressional boundaries. The Republicans plan to filibuster it in the Senate. Of course they do. But don't let someone on the right gaslight you into thinking it's somehow partisan or political to want to expand voting rights, to make it easier to vote, to protect the integrity of our democracy. That is ridiculous.
We know about voter suppression is that it works best when people don't vote, when people are pushed out of the process because they're afraid to vote or they think it won't work. The way to overcome voter misinformation, Russian interference, is to overwhelm the polls with our presence. We have to vote in numbers we have not seen before. And let me tell you, it's possible. President Moon in South Korea just held the single largest election since the 1990s in the country of South Korea. And let's understand that they had their first moments of COVID-19 at the same time the United States did. If South Korea can hold its largest, most invested election in the midst of COVID-19 on April 15th, we can get this done by November, but only if we pass the HEROES Act and get it done now.
In addition to the classic voter suppression, we also have to recognize the Russian interference and what that has meant in terms of that misinformation campaign that has targeted black voters. And so we now have the classic voter suppression, and on top of that, the contemporary or modern-day voter suppression, which is foreign interference, targeting black voters to turn black voters off on the whole process and basically to stay at home. That's voter suppression.
To make the point about that that fallout in those three states, first of all, in Michigan, there were over 75,000 people in Detroit whose votes literally did not count. So we really can't say that she lost that election, and it concerns me that when some in the media repeatedly say that the black voting turnout declined, we also have to acknowledge it was GOP-led voter suppression that helped that. There was foreign election interference that helped that. And literally people did cast a vote. And so had Hillary Clinton gained those 75,000 votes, she would have carried Michigan and thus carried the presidency. And I think that's something we have to keep in mind when we talk about that.
Ironic, isn't it? It's really ironic how some of us on this platform have been saying these laws don't really hurt a certain group of people, mainly black people. It's just like, black people are not going out there to vote because some black people don't care about politics. That's not voter suppression. It's just that black people just don't care about who's in office, or if they don't vote for this certain person that's in this certain party, they're obviously cooning for the white man. Here's the thing, man. You have the right to vote for whoever you please, as long as you know what you're voting for. Most of the time, when let's just say black people, they vote for the blue party, they don't really know what they're voting for. Like, they'll actually look into detail about some of these policies that are in place. And then there was a whole black people are not being allowed to vote in certain states during the 2020 election. More black people voted during the 2020 election than they did when freaking Obama was in office, because of the NBA, the NFL, rap music that the freaking left was paying all those black people that run that side to get people out there to vote, saying this is the most important election in history. Which, more people voted, so it was a very important election. But now that we got the black vote got Joe Biden in office, a lot of black people are like, yo, what the hell's going on? Where's our reparations? Why is gas going up? Why is inflation going up? Why are we getting taxed out of our ass more than ever before? Why y'all sending all this money to foreign countries instead of actually using it for ourselves? How come we can't get food? Why is there a shortage of baby formula? Just stuff like that. Some of us knew that these people, some of the people on the left, some of us know that they use the emotions of black people in order to vote. And then when some of us on this platform, mainly independent guys, and you may even have some right wingers like Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum, with some of the craziness they be saying sometimes. They be trying to say like, yo, at least know what you're voting for. And a lot of people don't actually do that. They don't actually look into it. They just say, hey, black people, Republicans racist, GOP racist, vote for us. We're not the GOP. And some people actually just go along with it. So you guys seen the clips, right? You guys already seen the clips. How voter suppression was mainly hurting black people. All these laws from Georgia to Florida to freaking Texas that was used to freaking suppress the black vote. But now news came out, and this is from the Post Millennial, that Georgia breaks early voting records despite Democrat voter suppression conspiracies. And you want to know what this is, people? It's because the Biden administration is doing a terrible job right now. So a lot of people. So there was also reports that some GOPers was at gas stations trying to get people to vote red. In some cases it's working, but then you also had Elon Musk the deal's on hold right now. But going on Twitter saying like, yo, there should be no biases when it comes to politics. You should hear one side, and you should also be able to hear the other side. Apparently, from people on the left, that pissed off a lot of people. Like, no, what are you doing, Elon Musk? There should be only one side. It should be my side. It should be this side. Don't vote for this side. Again, man, these people had. Again, man, it's always the vote. It's always the vote one way, especially if you're black. If you're black, you can only vote a certain way, which is Democrat. And this year, this is just a prediction, but a lot of black people are might end up voting red because there's more black people that's running for Congress, like statewide. There's more black people vote that's running for Congress in certain states more than ever before because a lot of black people are like, yo, I'm done with this party. Some people are switching over. Vernon Jones, I don't know how that's gonna work out with him and Stacey Abrams and Brian Kemp. I don't know how that's gonna work out. Hopefully he's not just another crony politician. He may say the right words, but actions speak louder than words. And people like Stacey Abrams, who just say the right words in order to get people to vote for her, like the whole racism, voter suppression thing that she been doing for the past 4 or 6 years. People are like, yo, we ain't falling for that crap no more. We ain't about to be voting for y'all, and then things are not gonna be better because we trusted y'all during the whole 2020 election, and what did y'all do? Yeah, you guys just made everything like my words. I can barely find food for my kids. I can, schools are more crazier. A lot of black families are taking their kids out of public schools more than ever before. Again, that's also another point that Democrats hate talking about. That the fact that a lot of black kids are taking their school, a lot of black families are taking their schools out of government funded public schools, and then they're like, no, why would you do that? Why would you not make your child associate with these certain people at a certain school? Because the schools suck. They're not actually teaching black children what they need to teach. I made this video about last year how black families that took their kids out of public schools and put them in private schools or charter schools and homeschooled them. They did more when it comes to academics than they did in public schools, which just goes to show that public schools are not helping out black children. They are deliberately letting them fail because they don't know how to teach them. So again, that's another point that the Democrats hate talking about, how these schools are failing black children, and it's not the whole it's systemically racist and all that stuff. Again, it's the schools, man. The schools are holding your children back. Mainly black people. But let me go ahead and read y'all this article. Despite passing an election security law last year, The critics claimed that was voter suppression, and President Joe Biden compared to Jim Crow 2.0. You know how when Brian Kemp brought forth these freaking laws to combat voting, fraudulent voting. A lot of people just from the left, Joe Biden, Stacey Abrams, MSNBC, Joy Reid just went to Barrack and said this is voter suppression for black people. But then they didn't actually read the bill. Georgia has seen record-breaking turnout for early voter, so black people are not being suppressed to vote. According to data compiled by Georgia Votes, 539,297 people cast ballots in the state as of Tuesday, far surpassing the 128,684 votes by the same point during the 2018 midterm primary elections. The numbers have been outstripped those of the 2020 presidential election by 156%, despite election officials at the time encouraging early and mail-in voting to decrease crowd size during the COVID pandemic. Georgia Secretary of Staff Brad Raffensperger said Wednesday, the record early voting turnout is a testament to the security of the voting system and the hard work of our country election officials. As Secretary of State, I promise to strike a strong balance between access and security in our elections, and the numbers demonstrate that I kept that promise and that voters have confidence in Georgia's elections. During debate on the bill, Republicans argued that the Election Integrity Act of 2021 would both secure future elections in the state while making it easy to vote. The bill implemented an ID requirement for absence ballot requests and mandated 3 weeks of early voting, including availability on weekends. Again, man, this whole having IDs to vote is racist for because black people aren't smart enough to get IDs. What was it? Where's that freaking gray-haired ass bitch nigga at? Hold on a second. God, there was a video. That was a video I wanted to find, but I could not find it at all. Okay, so what was I? The bill implemented an ID requirement for absentee ballot requests and mandated 3 weeks of early voting, including availability on weekends. President Joe Biden said when the bill was passed at a time when parts of our country are backsliding, the days of Jim Crow passing laws that harken back to the era of poll taxes, when black people were made to guess how many jelly beans in the jar, or count the number of marbles in the bar of soap before they could cast their ballot. Again, these people just keep on bringing up stuff to have the black people, some black people just hop in the barrack and say, yeah, that white man's right. Major League Baseball moved the 2021 All-Star Game from Atlanta in response to the law, claiming that the legislation restricted access to voting. Again, they ain't actually read the bill. So they ended up taking like, I think it was $100 million out of this predominantly black state because of what this certain party said about this certain bill. So black people done lost $100 million and they lost some jobs in Atlanta because Atlanta is a predominantly black city. So again, I said this in one of my previous videos about this with Stacey Abrams. Good job, Stacey Abrams. Good job. You took money and jobs out of a predominantly black state. So good. So kudos to you fucking pig. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said in a statement at the time, I had decided that the best way to demonstrate our values as a sport is by relocating this year's All-Star Game and MLB draft, which they moved into a predominantly white city. Major League Baseball fundamentally supports voting rights for all Americans and opposes restrictions to the ballot box. Fair access to voting continues to have our gains a wave of support. Former Georgia Democrat gubernatorial Stacey Abrams, who said that her election was stolen, and who still has not conceded her loss in the 2018 race. The same thing with Hillary Clinton. She keep on bringing up the fact that the 2016 election was freaking Trump only won it because of freaking Russia, even though they spent over I think $200 million and they had not found anything about no Russian interference. So again, just keep on wasting freaking taxpayer money. Keep on going. Said at the time that she was proud of the lead stance on voting rights, despite the businesses in Atlanta and the employees losing out on close to $90 million. Okay, my bad. So it was $90 million in revenue generated by the game. So Stacey Abrams, hold this colossal freaking nail. She posted on Twitter, disappointing MLB removed the All-Star Game, but proud of the stance of voting rights. Georgia GLP traded economic opportunity for suppression. Same thing with Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. They also moved some of their businesses out of Georgia. So Georgia lost some money there. So again, kudos to Stacey Abrams. You know, she's out here bragging about that she's smart and all that stuff. But guys, they're not. They use the emotions of black people in order to get your vote. Guys, if you don't believe me, like, what's the main talking point when it comes to like the left, when it comes to like actually trying to get black people to vote? Do they bring up policies? Because the one thing that they say is reparations, better jobs, which I agree with, fair housing, which I also agree with, but then that's also something that the U.S. Congress has to fix, because you know the real estate is based on how the U.S. Congress is running, and right now the real estate is pretty freaking trash right now. Like everything is going up for the middle class and the low class. So guys, if you wonder why rent is going up, blame freaking U.S. Congress and the Biden administration for being so piss poor at their job, because that's also a point that a lot of people don't want to mention. That real estate is going up because of how bad the Biden administration is doing right now. Same thing with gas. Like for real, what's their stance going to be this time? But they just gonna keep on going with the same trait. Republicans racist. Republicans hate black people. But then they don't actually bring forth their own policies that they say that they are for helping out disenfranchised black people, but they don't actually execute them. Like with freaking Eric Adams, he said he was going to be coming in and doing everything to stop police brutality. And stop all this horrendous crime and all that stuff. He ain't do not jack. He's just in that position. And you know, I was at one point I was for the guy. I really was. I was like, okay, so maybe this guy will be better than freaking Bill de Blasio. But no, he's just about the same. They both garbage. But guys, you know, I'm just one opinion here. If you guys like what I'm saying, like and subscribe, share the video, hit the notification bell. I will see y'all next one. Peace.